The first house used for school purposes at Prairie Grove was built of logs. The slabs of the logs were used for the floor. This house stood north of the present site and was known as the Cockayne School. A Mr. Jones, who was the father of Dave Jones, was the first teacher here. This ground has been a part of the cemetery for quite some time. The plot where the present stone schoolhouse now stands was deeded to the District Board of Schoolhouse District No. 6 in Flint River Township, Des Moines County, State of Iowa, the 16th of October, 1849, by Joel Johnson and Lucinda Johnson, his wife. The first structure built on this ground was made of brick and served as a room of learning for the young folks of that era. The brick of this building was burnt by Kate Hickson's father. Small folks, junior size, and the tall grown-up men and maiden all congregated in the old red brick school to learn their R's, readin', writin', and arithmetic, taught to the tune of a large hickory stick. Each year, the girls of the district would choose a day when they would meet at the schoolhouse to give the room its annual cleaning. They scrubbed the maple desks to a marble whiteness. The benches were long enough to hold at least 6 people. The problems were worked on a board, painted black, which served the same purpose as a slate board, which was used later. There were no lunch boxes in those early days, so the lunches were carried in a pan with a cloth tied round it, which also served as a handle. These were the good old days that the older boys and girls so often mention. As time went on, plans were made to build a new rock building. The old brick school building had served its purpose. According to the record in the Secretary's book of November 16, 1878, plans had formed and the rock school was built the following year in 1879. From the minutes of the meeting dated September 12, 1879, we read of a motion made by L.F. Wolverton to authorize the directors to use part of the surplus teachers' fund to pay off the schoolhouse debt. Then the old brick building was auctioned off to the highest bidder. It was sold to Charles Johnson for the sum of $11. Thus the school was free from debt the same year it was built. The rock in the new schoolhouse was taken from the stone quarry, which was located a couple of miles west of Prairie Grove on the Dick Frericks farm. Men of the community hauled the rock to the school site. In 1874, we find there were 58 scholars enrolled, and in 1890 there were 47. While in 1936, there were only 10 pupils attending the school. No more was done until 1907, when a woodshed was erected. A new roof and an addition to the front of the school was finished on August 4, 1926. Arch McCormick did this building. A cupola and bell were added. Before this, teachers used a brass handbell. One of the earlier scholars told of wearing wooden shoes when attending our school and using them to slide down the hill on snow and ice. This was a lot of fun. Classes were held from 1879 until 1960. At that time, the district merged with Danville Community School, so there is no more school at Prairie Grove. But it has been decided to keep the building as a landmark and also a place for the school reunions which are enjoyed by former pupils from far and near. In 1961, the descendants of Joel Johnson's estate deeded the land to the Prairie Grove Cemetery Association. Then the association purchased the building and made plans to preserve the little school and care for the grounds. This little school, during its many years of existence, has turned out some noted people. There have been several lawyers, prospectors, ministers, auctioneers, merchants, nurses, and many well-known farmers, besides teachers and many others who got their start here. Histories all contain battles, but no serious melees were ever recorded here. Margaret Beer Heuschen, 1936. Prairie Grove School was maintained by the Prairie Grove Cemetery Association from its closing in 1960 and up until the Restoration Committee was formed in 2009. The Restoration Committee is primarily made up of former students who still live in the area. The schoolhouse has been restored to reflect its appearance as it was in the late 1940s and early 1950s. The restoration process began in 2010, with replacement of the old mortar and tuck pointing the east and west exterior stone walls. The north wall was completed in 2011, and the south wall in 2012. The committee then focused on the interior with sanding and plastering and painting, which was completed in 2013. The final touches on the interior included cleaning and polishing the floors, adding pull-type window shades, and reattaching a rope to the school's original bell. The exterior wood on the school was primed and painted in 2016, and a new roof added in 2017. The school now displays its original desks, books, sleds, bats and balls, sandbox, and dinner buckets for visitors to enjoy.